Hey everybody, welcome to the SMA Journey 51 vlog. Alright guys, in this week's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to me on Monday, March the 11th, 2019. The other day I went back to UT Southwestern Medical Center for my 8th Spinraza injection, and in reality I guess you could call it the start of my second year of maintenance doses. And so I want to tell you why I entitled the video No Cerebral Spinal Fluid. There was cerebral spinal fluid, but I'll explain further in just a moment. So when I woke up on Monday morning, I had plenty of time to gather my thoughts and maybe catch up on a little bit of work before I left for the hospital. And I left relatively early because I'm never the kind of person that likes to be there right on time or a little bit late. I'm always early everywhere I go. So I got to the hospital about 10:45 and I wasn't scheduled to check in until about 11:30. But when I got there, they went ahead and took me back once I checked in. They took me back to my room and started taking the blood work and the urinalysis. And then they took me out of my wheelchair and put me in bed with a Hoyer lift. So once I was in bed and all of that was done, I guess it was close to 12 o'clock by the time they got everything finished. And so I had about an hour to relax before the procedure, which was scheduled to start at 1 o'clock. So probably about 15 till 1, maybe 20 till 1, the student doctor came in, Dr. Ball, and told me that he was going to be assisting the attending physician that was going to be there to supervise him doing the procedure. Because UT Southwestern Medical Center is a teaching hospital, so normally the students do the procedure themselves, but the attending physician is there just to supervise and make sure that everything goes well. And so Dr. Ball told me that Dr. Steele, which was normally my doctor, was not going to be doing the procedure. It was going to be Dr. Scott. And Dr. Scott had done my first maintenance dose injection back in March of last year. So I knew Dr. Scott, so I knew that I was in good hands. But he said Dr. Scott had told him that they were not going to take any cerebral spinal fluid out this time because a couple of times before that, I had had some headaches through a couple of the procedures. And the reason why they decided not to take any cerebral spinal fluid out made a lot of sense to me, and that's what I want to talk to you about now. You know, it is protocol to take 5 cc's of cerebral spinal fluid out, but these protocols were written for little infants, not for adults. You know, they can leave the 5 cc's of CSF or cerebral spinal fluid in adults because if they do inject the Spinraza without taking the CSF out, our bodies can absorb the difference. And the reason why we get some of these headaches that we're getting is because anytime that they pull out 5 cc's of cerebral spinal fluid, there's a change in the pressure in your back. And this change in pressure can cause the headaches. So Dr. Scott was going to do the procedure without retrieving any CSF to see if that worked. Now, the procedure that I had done last year, my last maintenance dose injection back in November, they did retrieve CSF at that point, but I also drank a very large cup of coffee after the procedure, and I did that also on Monday, just this past week whenever I went back in. So I don't know if the coffee is helping, but I do know that he did not take any CSF out this time, and I had no problems whatsoever. Once they got me up on the table, they got me positioned, they took a couple of images, they marked my back, took another couple of images to make sure they were in the correct location. Dr. Ball numbed my back with a little bit of lidocaine, which was great. It didn't bother me at all. They went in with the needle, got directly into the central nervous system. They did retrieve just a little bit of CSF to make sure that they were in the right location. CSF looked good, so they put the Spinraza in the vial and they gave me my 5 cc's of Spinraza. Took the needle out, put a Band-Aid on my back, and put me back on my bed, and I went back to my room. And of course, I had to lay on my back for about an hour. And usually they come in once or twice while I'm laying there, and they roll me over to make sure that nothing is leaking out, make sure that the puncture site is clean, and everything was fine. So after about an hour, I got dressed and I went home. But like I said, I still went by Starbucks and got me a very large cup of coffee and had that. Came home, ate lunch, and I went to bed. I laid in bed. I probably got to bed around 4:30, 4:45 in the afternoon, and I stayed in bed until this morning when I woke up. So I'm doing the video on Tuesday because I wanted to do the video while everything was fresh in my mind. So my procedure went great, and you know, I always talk about how good my procedures are going, and I know some of you have had some problems. Some of you are going through some issues with regards to your procedures, and trust me, you guys are in my prayers all the time, just like I hope that I'm in your prayers as well. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I've been very blessed that in the 8 procedures that I've gone through since starting Spinraza, they've only hit one nerve, and everything else has been smooth. So, like I said, I feel very blessed, and I hope that you're blessed as well. And if you do run into some problems, just know that, you know, it does happen, and I'm sure that they're going to run into problems with me as well. You know, it's just the way it works. So anyway, everything went good with me. I feel great this morning. I've got to get back to work now because I've got a lot of things to do for BioNews Services. But anyway, thank you for watching my videos. It really means a lot to me. And I hope that these videos are also helping you. I hope that I'm bringing you some information that you find useful. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this week's video, give me a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Remember, when you subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon to be notified of any new videos that I do. I hope that all of you have had a fantastic week. Please do me a favor. Do something for yourself this upcoming week that's going to make you a better person. God bless you, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.